Human corruption is dangerous. We have seen people do the unthinkable, and once they cross that line, it's hard to recover. But what happens when those same people go beyond and start becoming something else? It remains human, but also becomes monstrous. Welcome to the portal, where myths, nightmares, and mysteries are just one step away. My name is Epoch, and I will be your guide. To preserve the light, we must first face the dark. The silence of the four corners. If you find yourself driving through the high deserts of the American Southwest, specifically the lands of the Navajo Nation, you might notice a change in the air as the sun dips below the horizon. The locals, the Dene, have a rule that many outsiders find strange. They do not talk about them. They do not speak their name. They believe that to speak of these beings is to draw their attention. Like a beacon in the dark, your voice invites them to follow you home. But today, we are breaking that silence. We are treading into the darkness to understand an ancient evil that has haunted the Four Corners region for centuries. We are talking about the Skinwalker. But be warned, once you know the details, the desert will never look the same again. The origin. Corrupted medicine. In the Western world, we often think of monsters as creatures of biology, like Bigfoot or maybe a beast. But the Skinwalker is something much more terrifying. It is a human. In Navajo culture, the term is Yi-nal-glushi. It literally translates to, "With it, he goes on all fours." The origin of the Skinwalker is rooted in the witchery way. These are not creatures born in the wild. They are powerful medicine men or women who have chosen to pervert their sacred gifts. To become a Skinwalker, one must reach the highest level of the priesthood and then deliberately break the most sacred taboos of their people. The most common requirement mentioned in whispers is the cold-blooded murder of a family member, usually a sibling or a child. This act of ultimate betrayal severs their connection to humanity. It grants them dark, supernatural powers. They become a shadow of a person, a shapeshifter that exists between the world of men and the world of animals. They are not part of the natural order anymore. They are a wrongness in the fabric of the world. The transformation and the hunt. A skinwalker is most often seen wearing the hide of an animal, usually a coyote, a wolf, or a mountain lion. But this is not a costume. Through dark rituals, they skin the animal's essence, allowing them to take its form. But the transformation is never quite perfect. This is where the horror truly begins. Witnesses who claim to have seen a skinwalker describe a creature that looks almost like a wolf, but its joints are backwards. Its gait is uneven, jerky, and unnatural. And then there are the eyes. Even in animal form, a skinwalker retains its human eyes. If you catch one in your headlights, you will not see the orange or green glow of a predator. You will see the white, gleaming eyes of a man staring back at you from a canine skull. They are incredibly fast. There are dozens of reports of drivers on remote desert highways traveling at 60, 70 miles per hour, only to look out their side window and see a creature on all fours keeping pace with the car. They don't attack immediately. They play with their prey. They want you to feel the dread. They want you to know that you cannot outrun them. Mimicry and the sound of fear. The most chilling power of the Skinwalker is not their speed or their strength, it is their voice. They are masters of mimicry. They can imitate the sound of a crying infant or the scream of a woman in distress to lure a sympathetic person out into the darkness. But even more disturbing, they can sound like people you know. Imagine sitting in your home, miles from the nearest neighbor. You hear your mother's voice calling your name on the porch. You go to the door, but then you remember. Your mother is hundreds of miles away. That is the trap. They also use a psychological poison. It is said that if you make eye contact with a Skinwalker, they can enter your mind. They feed on your fear. Some say they don't even need to kill you physically. They can simply haunt you, causing a wasting sickness until you lose your mind and eventually your life. There are stories of families waking up to find the smell of rotting meat outside their windows. They find handprints in the dust on the roof where something was pacing back and forth, waiting for a moment of weakness.
The modern reality. Skinwalker Ranch. While the legend is ancient, the fear is very modern. Most people recognize the name from Skinwalker Ranch in Utah. This 500-acre property has become the epicenter of high strangeness. While the media focuses on UFOs and glowing orbs, the original owners, the Sherman family, reported something far more grounded in folklore. They described massive, wolf-like creatures that were immune to bullets. They spoke of cattle being surgically mutilated in seconds without a single drop of blood on the ground. One famous account describes a wolf 3 times the size of a normal animal that calmly walked up to a calf in front of the family. Mr. Sherman shot the creature with a high-powered rifle at point-blank range. It didn't flinch. It didn't bleed. It simply turned and walked away into the brush. Whether these are the same beings from the Navajo lore or something else entirely, the energy is the same. A predator that defies the laws of physics and the laws of nature. Why we don't look back. To the Navajo, the Skinwalker is not a fun ghost story. It is a source of genuine, living terror. It represents the ultimate corruption of the soul. When you ask a local about them, they will likely go quiet. They will look away. They aren't being rude, they are being careful. The desert is a vast, lonely place. It holds secrets that are older than our cities and deeper than our understanding. Perhaps the reason we feel that uncanny shiver when we think of the Skinwalker is because our ancestors knew the truth. There are things in this world that wear our faces but do not share our hearts. Tonight, if you hear a familiar voice calling you from the darkness outside, stay inside, lock your doors, and whatever you do, do not look into the eyes.
Let us now step back into the portal and go to our segment of time and space. If you would like to see a longer video about what we went through today, or if you would like to see another specific video, leave it in the comments. Feel free to check any of our previous voyages on screen. My name was Epoch, and I will see you again on one side or the other. Farewell.